Good evening and welcome. We are here for the finale of Tier 1 in SLR. This is round 11. We are at the Autodroma Nacional Monza, the Temple of Speed, one of the fastest tracks on the calendar. It is Kebab on the mic commentating here, and with me is AR Gamer, our resident statman, and Saudi Arabian Prince. How are you doing?
Doing very good. I'm happy to be alongside you in this very exciting championship decider. Tier 1 to Tier 1.
Yeah, it's going to be the decider for sure as well. Makenda currently has a 15-point lead, as you can see here on the standings, over Danny Coe, which is going to make it very, very difficult for Danny Coe to get that win. Makenda pretty much has to finish 5th or lower for Danny Coe to have any chance of winning this title, but there still are other positions up for grab. But Daisy can also still win the championship, but in order for him to win the championship, both Makenda and Danny Coe would have to score 0 points, which is going to be very unlikely. But anything can happen in racing, and turn 1 has proven to be absolute chaos here in the past. So safety cars are a possibility as well around this track, as it looks as though we're going to have a Alfa Romeo of Mipo going to be the first car to set a lap today. The championship in terms of constructors has already been sewn up by Ferrari. Forza Ferrari, grazie. It should be all done and dusted, that one. But congratulations both to Makenda and Icewind for their parts that they played in that championship. But yeah, still things to be happening there as well. Danny Coe could get P2 in that championship if he gets a good result. And yeah, let's get on board with the racing then. Now that that's out of the way, we've got Makenda a distance back, and we've got Danny Coe a distance back as well. But we're probably going to start going to them at the end of this, as we've got Mipo on board with him at the moment, coming down into turn 1. Looks very nice and clean. He's been showing some very good pace here, as he gets a bit of a wiggle on the exit to turn 2, where the traction is tricky, to say the least. So what do you think, AR Gamer? Where do you think are the spots on this track that are going to be problematic for these guys?
I think to be firstly turn 1 traction, turn 2 and turn 1 it'll be the most important. Also Ascari will be also a deciding factor in if you have a good lap or a bad lap.
Yeah, it certainly is tricky, that Ascari. You've got to be careful of those curves. You've got to ride the first one on the left-hand side here, so we've not want people go down into this. You've got to cut that curb a lot. So you can use this second curb, but you want to avoid the sausages and then avoid that left hand there, because that really unsettles the car and can spin you into the wall. And if you get spun there, it's almost certainly a safety car in race conditions. Yeah, let's see how Mipo does. He comes around Parabolica, which has had his name changed, but we refuse to accept that. He does take a tight line there through Parabolica, which is interesting. Uses all of the track there and sets a 19.7, already a rapid time. So I get the feeling that we're probably going to see low 19s here in this tier, as Wow then crosses the line with a 19.6 and beats that. So we've got a bit of traffic coming into turn 1 there, as people trying to scramble to get out of each other's way. Loft now with a 19.8 as well.
Makenda crossing with a 19.6. Wow, championship leader.
Early thing there, a Daisy with a 19.3. This guy is going to be absolutely rapid in qualifying. His race pace sometimes lacks that little extra though, but a 19.3 as a banker is unreal. Looks like everybody's in the 19s apart from Tenari, who's done a 20 flat, proving that he's still got some pace. Pemi gets in there with a 19.8 as well. Worth mentioning this guy as well, Tino, who I've spoke to earlier in the week for the first time. He's not on a lap at the moment. I think maybe he's invalidated his lap or his fast lap. But this is an ex-esports driver, and he is absolutely rapid. He's currently dominating the Law Championship. The Law Championship, for anybody who doesn't know, is the Finnish Championship, of which we have several members in, including Makenda, our current championship leader, is in there, and he is dominating that at the moment. He is absolutely rapid, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do and whether or not he starts from the back of the grid for a challenge or whether or not he just goes for it. He said to me he doesn't want to get too involved in the championship fight, so we'll maybe look to retire or just dodge out of the way of the guys in front if he starts to get involved. We've also got Yari as well on the grid tonight, who's had a torrid season so far, marred with lots of issues. and problems with disconnects and things like that. And he is basically the quickest guy on the grid at the moment. He could also be getting involved in this championship fight. And who knows what's going to happen? Obviously, we've got some ideas about what's going to happen if Danico wins. And if McKenna wins, obviously, he's going to win the championship. If McKenna beats Danico, he wins the championship. I think Danico has to beat him by 4 or 5 positions. But if somebody else takes the win today, such as Yari, then it becomes very, very complicated to work out who's going to win the championship.
Yeah, I think Danny will need to have some luck against McKenna, because McKenna is a pretty fast guy, and Danny needs him to perform a worse of his previous races. So yeah, it's gonna be very exciting.
From Danico's point of view, I've mentioned this to him before the race as well. He's just got to assume that it's over, essentially, and just race his own race. Do all he can to win this race, and that's it, really. He can't really worry about McKenna or how the championship's going to go, or let that affect his race at all. Yeah.
Just get in and say Danny is on 2 purples, sector 1 and 2, and he's about to finish his lap at the Parabolica now.
Yeah, he comes around that final corner using all of the track there.
Ooh, 19.1.
So, yeah, well, 19.2, close to enough kind of thing. But that is a long way beyond what McKenna has been able to do. So, Danico may well have the pace to win this race for sure. Like, he's had the pace all season. But yeah, he's got to win the race and hope that McKenna comes outside of the top 5. But given the standings at the moment in qualifying, you would say that's not out of this world that could happen. I mean, McKenna is a very quick driver, very consistent in the races as well, but any incident could cause major problems here, because at this level, Monza turns into a massive DRS train. It's very, very hard to make a move when the guy in front of you has DRS. It becomes all about managing your ERS, and McKenna has been good at that in the past, but is also fallen down because of it also in the past. So it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be a really tight race.
Chris is about to cut to the line with a purple sector 1 and a 19.6 on P3 now. Wow,
Crystal's
a good lap time.
Yeah, he's been out of the fold for a little while as Crystals. He said he hasn't raced this race for this game for a month or so, as he tries to go round the you can't do that, I'm afraid. It's impossible to get around those cones. He's trying to avoid other people's laps and things as he comes into turn 1. But yeah, those arrows and in the runoff into turn 1, just impossible to get around those. The car just does not have that much turn kind of thing, which seems to be the case in real life as well by the looks of things. But see if we can find somebody else on a lap. We've got a Daisy who's starting a lap at the moment. Let's follow on board with him as he comes out of turn 1, which is a very tricky traction zone. You've got to get short shifting. Down on the power as early as you can, carrying as much speed through that chicane as you can as you come down Curva Grande now into the second chicane, turns 4 and 5 I think this is, braking out the 100 metre board, and you've got to take a lot of curb on the inside there, which he does, and settles the car a little bit, but you can hold it, and again, early on the power, into Lesmo 1, got to carry more speed than you think you can, delay the throttle just that little bit, he holds it in 6, and then Lesmo 2, catching that inside curb, lovely, just that little dip on that inside curb you've got to get hold of, and then early on the throttle down towards Escari, keeping it to the left through that left hand kink, but just after the 100 metre board, brake, and you take a lot of curb on the inside of the first Escari, take a lot of curb on the second, and he's taking a lot of curb there on that finale there as well, but he's managed to keep it together somehow, not sure how he's managed that, but that maybe is where he's getting his extra time for, as we come down now into Parabolica with a car in the way at the moment, but it looks like they're starting a lap. Gets the apex nicely there. Gets a big snap there and loses the back end there. That will have cost him big time. Tino is a 19 flat as he dives into the pits there. Tino, though, proving that that esports pace is not far along. It's not gone, really. And
McKenna also crossing the line now. McKenna 19.3, improving by 2 tenths up to P4 now.
Yeah, but that's proving how tight it's going to be at the top today. It's a big improvement there from McKenna, but it's only good enough for P4. Interesting. As Ocean Chief in chat says he's done his time in Tier 1. He's done his time, he's got his P10, and that is that.
Yeah, we have a lot of fast reserves here. Tino, Crystals, and yeah, it's gonna be hot at the top for this race. It's be hard for Danny to win like the past races. It'll be a challenge, and maybe help him keep McKenna in lower positions.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the competition here in Tier 1 has been absolutely the tightest I've ever seen it since all my days commentating in F1, and this season's been ridiculous from the very first race, where we had 6 people vying for the win in Bahrain on that last lap as well. So there was, even that last lap, there was so many still in contention, and yeah, the championship has weeded a few of those out. It's down to just 2, Makenda and Danny, because there've been incidents. Oh, wow, is Spanit. He's gone over the exit curb there in Lesmo 2, which if you get too far over there and get a wheel in the gravel, it absolutely denies your car any grip or traction. But Wow has been one of those who's had a lot of pace. He was in that fight, I think, in Bahrain, and but consistency is key here. Dry race, by the way, says Ocean Chief, which is music to my ears, because a wet race here would have been, yeah, that would have been unfortunate from a spectator's point of view.
Yeah. No DRS would be a nightmare for overtaking here.
Certainly would, yeah. Let's see if we've got anybody else on a lap at the moment. We've got Heat coming into the pits with 100% ERS, but Fox at the moment, it's been a season to forget for Fox. He has 0 points so far this season, but he had shown flashes of pace this season as well, so he really wanted to finish this season strongly and finish with at least some points. We've also got a mention here for Boosted Mess, who's getting into the seat in Tier 1 for the first time in a long time as well. This guy drives no assists in Tier 3. So he's possibly going to struggle with the pace. As you can see here, he's 1.8 seconds, well, a second off Zygon, who's 9/10 off everybody else as well. We've also got Zygon in Heat joining as well. He's got somebody to race with at least, but he'll just be hoping to have his own race, not getting anybody's way. As Fox starts his lap then, as he comes down the pit straight. Let's see what he can do as we follow on board with him. But let's see if we can get some predictions in the chat. If Ocean Chief can do some polls in the chat, that would be fantastic as well, for who's going to win the race. I honestly can't look beyond Tino for winning the race, but it's also a big question mark over whether or not he's going to deny that win by pitting on the last lap or something like that, doing a 3-stop, or whether he disqualifies himself in qualifying to start from the back or something like that kind of thing, because he is obviously an esports driver. Oh, Fox has gone round. That is unfortunate. So that's on there.
Chris is on our lap right now. He pits because he's now down by like 2/10, sadly.
Yeah, don't want to waste any time if you're doing an in lap, if you're already if the lap that you're going to set isn't going to be in the top echelons of what you can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, Zygon then coming into turn 1, he looks to be on a lap, but yeah, we're gonna have
Desi on a lap now. Desi on a lap, and he's like 2/10 up right now. Parabolica.
Yeah, let's find out
He
what
can, like,
he can do.
yeah.
So really cutting it by 18.8. Ooh, what a time that is. So Daisy laying down the gauntlet for these guys. Daisy could still win this as well. He seems to be having immense pace. Also, we've got a Ferrari there crossing the line as well. I think that was Icewind who's starting the lap. Oh,
Copy.
Makenda, sorry. So it's
Copy goes to P5 with a 19.4 almost.
Next is
Nice
Meatboat across the line, who puts himself P6 with a 19.5 as well. Improves by 2.5 tenths, so not bad. Next we've got Pemi, who has invalidated his time and comes into the pits, wants to get out again. So I wonder how many people out here are going to be looking to just get the latest lap they possibly can, as Heat now starting a lap, I think he is. So
Azek is on end lap right now, Parabolica, and we'll see what time he puts in.
Yeah,
at 20.8.
So he's improved, but
yeah.
not enough by the looks of things. Is it? Next we've got Tino, who is coming into the pits.
Yeah, he's down on this time, so he just aborted his time.
That and then goes out again. He may have just enough time to get another lap in. We've got 3.5 minutes left of qualifying. It takes about 1 minute and 40 seconds to get around this track in a slow lap. But let's see then if we've got. Is it Makenda? Yes, we do have Makenda who's coming.
Yeah, he's down.
So yeah, a number of people who are down on their laps, not looking to go. We've got Copy, who'll be coming at the pits as well. A number of people who've just be coming at the pits now. Is anybody on a lap at the moment then?
I don't think so, no.
So we can see them. So Heat maybe. He's got some in the ERS in the bank. So yeah, maybe he's using it. So it could be possible that he is on a lap. in the Mercedes here as he comes down to Parabolica. I cannot remember the name that they changed that to. So we shall see. So yeah, we've got a poll there so for chat to get involved with. Who's going to win the race today? As he does improve, goes to 20.4 and overtakes Zyken, I think, maybe, or did he just stay where he was? I can't remember. But yeah, let's see. Now with Zyken's probably coming at the pits. Yeah, so we're going to have a bit of a lull here as we have a couple of cars coming around. I think about Yari. You have to say a 19.5 at the moment. This guy is proven to be absolutely rapid all season. Just issues with disconnects and things like that kind of thing have cost him big. We'll follow on board with Icewind. He's going to be the first to set the laps at the moment, I think, for the next run, the final runs, which is going to decide this grid. Icewind with a 19.9 will be hoping to improve on that massively as well. So let's see what he can do as he comes and gets a good exit. It's important to get a very good exit out of Parabolica for your opening lap and get that underway, but let's have a look. So the votes are coming in thick and fast for this poll. It looks like Danny is leading it at the moment with 40%, Daisy 20%, and Mackenda at 20%, and other 20%. So down into turn one, there's a bit of traffic there for Icewind to contend with, but it looks like people are getting out of his way, and he's got a clear path as the McLaren of Tonari probably gets out of his way there, because or it could be Pemi, because he's on an outlap as well. But down into the second chicane here, and it's going to be Yari is going to be the next to cross the line, and after that, I'm not sure.
Lop is also on a lap right now.
Great camera.
He's improving.
Let's see if we can find Loft then, and yeah, he's coming around the final corner at the moment, so he's going to be the first to set a time here. I'm wondering if that is Pemi behind him. Let's see what Loft can do as he crosses the line. Improves by 2/10, so 19.4, gets himself up to P6. Not bad at all. And Pemi next. Let's see what he can do. Is he starting a lap, or it looks like he is starting?
He's starting, yeah.
So over to Icewind then, who's now down. Mackenda also starting a lap there, but Icewind might be the next to set a time as he comes down into Parabolica, braking just at the 50-meter board. I'm going to take a late apex. There's a little kink there in that corner that you're looking to aim for your apex. Let it run out wide and then pull it back to get shorten the track. Here as Icewind goes P4 with a 19.3, which is fantastic. Yari gets himself into P3 with a 19 flat. And yeah, let's see who else is going to come across the line. It's the Tonari next, as we've got a boosted mess crossing the line. There's Alpha Tauri. Tonari improves by 3/10, gets a 20 flat.
Mepo.
And
yeah, Mepo improving by 2/10. Oh, I think it's an invalid time. He's starting a lap now.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, we might have just started that lap now. So let's see, we've got a Wow in the Haas coming across the line next. He's down at P11 at the moment. Could be looking to improve big time on that. Let's see what he can do as he takes a tight line through Parabolica. Interesting line that. That's not what you expect, but 2.27 tenths that he goes up by and gets himself up into P7. Next it will be Pemi to cross the line, and Mackenda after that as well. So it'll be interesting to see what Mackenda can do as Pemi comes across the line now. And yeah, stays in position, and Mackenda cutting that line as much as possible, improves for 19.2, so it's not good enough for Mackenda. He stays in P5, and we've got another Mercedes there in the background coming through, and I think that might be Loft coming into the pits. We've got a Red Bull of one description or other. It's Tino who's also coming into the pits, who is not going to be able to set another time. So it looks like a Daisy could be the one to watch here at the moment, kind of thing. As Daisy comes around the final corner, he's invalidated his final lap as well. There's a Ferrari there coming into the pits also. So this could be it. This could be it over. I'm not sure if anybody else is still on a lap. Tonari might be. He's coming around the final corner. He goes into the pits though, so not to be for him. As Fox is also in the pits, will not set a time. Copy has managed to get himself up to P6 there by improving a couple of hundredths, 800ths to be exact. And Boosted Mess crosses the line now. Is he going to improve? He does, but 21.2 is all he can manage. I think that was not the lap that he's just done there as well. So he's going to start at the back. Fox is going to start at the back, to be fair. We've got a Haas of Zyken. Sorry, that's Wow, who's just...
I think the Grand... Yeah,
that's
the grid
it. That's
set,
the grid. That is the grid. That is our grid. So a Daisy claims pole by 2/10. Absolutely rapid, proving to be Curva Alboreto after the late Michael Alboreto, says Slipstream Racing. So 18 says Wimpy as well. So great to see you here for Wimpy for the the finale as well. Great to see you. I've missed you in Tier 3. But yeah, that is our grid. So a Daisy takes pole in Monza, and that could mix things up in terms of the championship. If a Daisy has the pace to win this race, anything can happen to the guys behind. He's still within with a shout. He's still in with a shout. I mean, obviously, he's got to hope that Danico and McKenna both don't score points. But Tino proving that he is also rapid. He did not get his best lap in by the looks of things. His last 2-3 laps in qualifying there for Tino were invalidated. And I hope the guy just races the race, and we don't worry about like who's getting in the way of what championship, because it's the same for everybody. Danico and McKenna are in the same race together with the same other people, and it's up to them to finish as high as they can. So I hope that nobody kind of, from my perspective, you are technically getting involved in the championship whether you want it or not just by being in the race. So. From my perspective, people should just race. If you're in the race, as a reserve, you just race the race that your race. If you want to win, you win the race. If you can't win the race, and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I think the last few laps at qualifying.
Oh, it is actually
it's
raining.
Raining start.
It's raining. It looks like intermediate conditions. This is not what we expected. We have been lied to by the one and only Chief. He's not like he's ever lied to anybody before. But yeah, that is very interesting. Maybe the drivers didn't know about this even as well, because we are on approximate, so it could be. But it looks like we got intermediates out on the in the pit wall there for Loff as well. So it's going to be an intermediate start. This throws a real spanner in the works. Is it going to dry up? Who knows? Oh, this is very interesting. It's also disappointing from one's perspective as a spectator, because we might not see as many overtakes in the wet, but it also means that people are going to be making mistakes left, right, and centre. There could be carnage into turn 1 here. But Tier 1 is the pinnacle of SLR, and we generally have a lot of very good clean racing here for the most part. People can get through turn 1 well. Driver's got a dry ray for us, but we got 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are ready to go. No formation lap, and it is away, and it looks like it's a good start for Tino, and some action going on in the background, but it looks like Tino is already alongside, but Daisy is getting away now, and it will be ahead going into turn 1. It looks like it's going to be nice and easy into turn 1 as we've got an Aston Martin. Oh, Daisy has got it all wrong and gets a massive penalty. So does Yari for cutting the corner. That is going to prove absolutely vital in the end. But he stays ahead, and now Tino goes through up the inside of Curva Grande and down into turn 2. And following on board with Danico here into that corner. It's very, very tight as people are struggling with these conditions. And oh, what a mix-up already, as McKenna is already down to P7. It's not where he wanted to be. He hasn't got the best start. Crystals has managed to get down to P13 as well. So all sorts of things happening. Boosted up to P14. Not a bad start for him. And Meepo has gone around somewhere and had an issue. So has Heat. But it seems to have calmed down a little bit at the front of the grid here. There's got a little train of 4 cars here together. And then Copy is a long way back from that. McKenna well off the pace at the start of this race.
Yeah, I think Meepo spun the run up to turn 3 by himself. No intervention, sadly, for him.
That's unfortunate. Meepo has struggled in the rain in the past, but we'll follow on board. These penalties are going to prove absolutely huge. Danico in a fantastic position at the moment, from where he sits, he's looking on for P2 at the moment if Tino runs away with this. And yeah, at the moment, oh, look at that. Yari is all over the place as Tino sets the fastest lap as you expect in the first lap, but Jari looks like he's struggling a lot with the traction at the back of the car there, as we've got some action here between Copy and Wow, as Wow goes up the inside of Copy into turn 1. McKenna looking to pick up some scraps here. Oh, Copy gets a bit of a snap there, and oh, that could be damage for McKenna. As oh, look at the traction is just not there anywhere. People are really struggling. The cars are wiggling all over the place. It's going to be very, very tricky conditions. We have no idea if it's going to dry up as well.
Yeah, from the forecast, it looks like a bit of light rain coming at the couple of next minutes. So hopefully it will be drier by the end.
That is going to prove absolutely chaotic as well, as the switchover is tricky to get right. Who is going to take the early gamble for the dries if it is going to dry up? Danico has fallen foul of that in the past, and he's also got it spot on in the past as well. If he gets it spot on here, predicted pit stop strategy is probably a load of hoo-ha there, because I doubt we're going to have medium music. But McKenna all over the back of Copy. Does not want to damage his wing at all, but you've got to be close to overtake here as he looks to get the move done. 1/10 in it there. He's going to try and get it done down the main straight. Oh, is he going to go down the inside into Parabolica? He's forcing his nose in there, forcing Copy wide, and looks like he's going to get that move done. Copy probably not happy with that. That was aggressive from Makenda. He maybe knew what he was doing though. Just put his nose in there, said, no, this is my side of the corner. Get out my way. Brilliant overtake, you've got to say, in these conditions. I wonder if Danico is going to be able to do something similar with a Daisy. A Daisy with that big penalty. Let's have a look at the ERS situation as well. So some of these guys are using that ERS up.
Yeah, the back at the back of the grid are struggling with the rain conditions. They're like every corner making mistakes and sliding all over. There's a big gap between P11 and P12 right now.
We are being told from chat as well that Parc Ferme is off as well. We've seen this bug before in the past, where Parc Ferme is put on by the race host, and then people can still do whatever they want. I hope nobody has taken advantage of that bug. But there's nothing we can really do to stop them. But looks like heat is all over the back of Boosted. It looks like go for the move into Lesmo too as well. So that's an aggressive move. Gets ahead before the corner even happens. I think Boosted's just kind of backed off that and let him have it. And Icewind now all over the back of Copy as well. Icewind has proven to be a good driver when it comes to rainy conditions. Copy already off the back of Makenda. The Ferrari guys looking strong here in these conditions at the moment. Makenda has managed to make the only overtake.
Dizzy.
Really.
Dizzy pushing for a Tino overtake.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah,
side by side right now.
A Daisy with that 5-second penalty though means that he's got to create a big gap to Tino to win the race. But Daisy doing what he needs to do as it stands at the moment. And I wonder if Danico can now take advantage of that and get past Tino as well. Tino maybe struggling in these conditions, or is he just biding his time? He's staying on top of his ERS. He's got 89%, whereas the other two guys down to 50% so far. So it could be that he's just holding on to his battery at the moment and doesn't want to use that up early doors. I'm wondering as well if it doesn't dry up, if this rain stays with us for the entirety of the race. We've got Yari looking, sniffing around the backside of Danico, but doesn't seem to be having an option for a move yet. If the rain stays as it is, and it's rainy for the entire race, whether or not the intermediates will go the entire race or not, and whether or not that is actually the quickest way to do it. A pit stop maybe gives you the extra half a second a lap.
I did some testing on the intermediates, and it does not seem to be able to go the whole race, but I think the tier 1 guys are masters at saving their tires, so we will see who pulls it off.
It looks like Icewind maybe had a bit of a snap there as he came out of Ascari, as we've got a side-by-side here between Pemi and Loff, but Icewind dropped a couple of positions there, gave a couple of positions away to Loff and Pemi. Maybe had a bigger moment in Ascari, but it looks like Pemi is going to go for the outside here into turn 1. Loft defending it for all he's worth. He's going to keep the inside. Oh, is there a bit of wheel banging there, a bit of contact to go side by side, but looks like Pemi's got that done, and that means Icewind gets a door open for him as well and gets past Loft. Fantastic racing from these guys.
Danny side by side with Tino in turn 3. He's trying to overtake Tino.
Oh, big snap there as well. Good catch that. Is Yari going to take advantage of this going into Lesmo? No, he's not. He's going to hang back for the time being. But Danny is not able to get the move done yet. But yeah, great racing from these guys. I feel
Tino is backing Danny away from Dizzy. It seems like maybe Tino and Dizzy are playing team up with each other.
Yeah, that is a.
Or Tino is struggling. Yeah.
Or Tino's struggling. Yeah, I doubt it though. I mean, this guy is. Maybe he hasn't raced for a while, but. He is an esports driver after all. I did see him in a practice session the other day, and he was still rapid there. So he has done some practice, but that's it. I mean, he might be fighting this as hard as he can to help his Finnish compatriot. Tino is Finnish, and Daisy will be thankful of this for sure. And if Yari gets a move on Danico, Danico could be in a world of pain in a little train here. Inter's full race, says Babulas. They need to start looking at the percentage of the rain as well. says Futuristic in the chat. It's it's going to be a tough race to call. This championship is going to be tough to call. I don't know at this as it stands. The points difference between P3 and P6, I think, isn't enough for Danny Coe to win the championship. I don't think that's the 15-point haul that he needs. I think he needs to overtake some people.
Mepo rams the back of Azakin to turn 1, but I think no damage for either of them.
Yeah, Meepo struggling, or Jeepo as he's called nowadays, is struggling in these rainy conditions. He's struggled in rain in the past, something that he almost certainly needs to work on, do more practice with. But Danny Coe still very close to the back of Tino, but nowhere to go. Cannot make the move stick. Using his ERS as much as he can, but Tino has more, so it's going to be very, very difficult to get that move done. He's going to have to get a better exit somewhere, and hope that Tino gets a bad one. But looks like Tino is doing a very good job of backing him up. 3.5 second gap now to a Daisy. Tino is proving to be rapid where it counts and slow where he needs to be. 10 minutes of rain, says Speedy. 10 minutes of rain. So we could get dry conditions at some point, and whoever gets the conditions, the strategy correct in that thing is going to gain big, I think, because if you get that pit stop 100% correct, is Danny Coe going to go for the move here? Tino is defending it. There's no way to go. He's going to go for the dive. No, he's not. No, he's not. Just looking at the inside, trying to put the willies into Tino and make him panic, but it's going to be difficult to do that to a driver of this guy's experience, driven in esports, raced against the likes of Brandon Lee and Jarno Okmir. As we've got Fox off at the moment, it looks like in the background he has lost it in Parabolica. He looks like he's not going into the pit, so he doesn't look as though he's hit the wall or got any damage. So he managed to save himself from damage and carries on.
I feel like the penalties for Dizzy and Yari will play a big part in the pit stop, because waiting for 5 seconds is a lot of time, and I think they'll lose a lot of positions for that.
Yeah, they certainly will. Position changes at the moment. So Wow has managed to get his 3 positions. Pemi is up 3 positions as well, but it's difficult to make moves here. Danny Coe has jumped 1 position on Yari at the start there, but didn't get his qualifying the way he would like it. So 6 laps on these tyres. I very much doubt that these tyres are going to get to the end because of the nature of this track. There's a lot of high-speed corners there. Lesmo 1 and 2 particularly. The chicanes obviously are very slow. Parabolica is very fast. Ascari is very fast as well. So tyre wear is high, even in the dry here. But it is possibly not as high as other tracks. We did see Futuristic do a medium-soft strategy yesterday. As Daisy gets the fastest lap. 4 second gap now to Tino. Tino is doing what he needs to do to help out his fellow Finn.
Yeah, I hear from the Williams team that Danny is struggling with tire wear about like 25% now on his intermediates. So I'm really not hopeful he will continue the whole race in the intermediates. So
yeah, not likely. We are not anywhere near. Are we a third of the way through this race? I don't think so. But with the conditions about to lighten up, Danny goes over that curve very harshly there. But looks like Tino slowing him up here by the looks of things. He is being very slow in these chicanes, Tino. And it's got to be to help his a Daisy out. It's got to be to help a Daisy out. But even if a Daisy wins this race, he's got to hope that Danny Coe and Makenda don't get any points, which at the moment isn't happening at this stage. Jari is looking all over the back as well. I mean, these guys are stuck in this little train here without being able to make a move. Danny Coe, gets a bit of a wobble there. Is Jari going to send it now into Parabolica? Parabolica seems like the best place to make a move in these conditions because of the DRS. Lack of. He's going to go for the outside into Parabolica as he squeezes his nose into the outside there on Danny Coe. Danny Coe with the inside is going to have the better line though and stays ahead. But yeah, struggling now with that back end as a Daisy gets another fastest lap after fastest lap for a Daisy here. But it's a wonder how much of that is due to Tino. Yari's going to go down the inside into turn 1 and Danny Coe is going to lose out on that position. Yari Coe outbrakes him and gets that position done. Easy as you like, outbrakes him into turn 1. Great move there from Yari. How this affects the championship means that obviously Makenda is laughing his head off at the moment. This all plays into his hands. Danny Coe, in order to win the championship, needs to outscore him by 15 points. Daisy to win the championship needs to outscore these guys by like the full 25. I think he's fastest lap as well, maybe. which he's got at the moment, but Makenda currently no pressure on him, as he is on the back of Wow. But when the conditions change, if the conditions change to dry, everything could get mixed up, and these penalties could play a huge role. As you mentioned earlier, Loff looks like he's all over the back of Pemi now as well. We've got some battles going on at the back there. Crystal's all over the back of Tunari as well. Crystal's not having the best start here, and looking to make his way through the pack, but unable to do so far.
Yeah, they have been stuck like that for a long time now. He cannot make the overtake on Tunari.
Oh, Tunari has gone a bit wide there, and he's in the wall, and it looks like he's got a little bit of damage yet, an end plate that's missing, but he stays in the race, but he's going to have to pit. Tino now sets the fastest lap, showing that he's still got it, and he's already created a gap to Yari as well. So it looks like, yeah, Tino was almost certainly then trying to back the pack up to allow a Daisy a big gap to get away. And now that Yari has got past Danny, and the threat is no longer there from Danny, he has just put his foot down and created a gap to Yari, who also has a 5-second penalty for skipping that first chicane in the very opening lap. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen here. So much racing still to be done. It's very difficult to make the overtakes here as Boosted Mess gets past a couple of people. Tunari's in the pits, and Heat is gotten overtaken there. I'm not sure what happened there, whether that was just a mistake from Heat or what is going on. But Heat, I'm not sure how much he's done, how much time he's spent with no assists. He is a tier 2 driver for the main part, but I think he's been no assists for a while now. But struggling in these... I mean, I would be down there with these guys if I was in this race, I have to say. It is a very tough thing. We've got a full course yellow. Is this a safety car? What is going in? What is going on?
It's a VSC now.
I'm not sure who's caused that. Looks like we've got a Zygon going slow. But that could just be because of the safety, the VSC. But we have a full course VSC. No safety car as it stands. I'm not sure what caused that. I have no idea. I'm wondering if that was...
Yeah.
It couldn't have been the Tunari thing, because that was too late, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Yari pits.
Yari pits under VSC. He gets a cheap pit stop. Will he be able to serve the penalty? I think he will serve the penalty as well.
He's going for mediums.
Oh my!
Yari's going for mediums.
He is as well, and he's serving that. And drive-through penalty for Danico. That is unbelievable. That's pretty much. Oh, I mean, that's pretty much. That's got to be championship over. Makenda could be our winner here. As Yari's gone spinning straight away on the mediums as he comes out of the pits. It is not ready for those mediums at all. He serves his pit stop, but it looks like the rain has stopped. So if he can hold it together for a lap or two, the VSC has ended, but it looks like Yari's going to drop down quickly to Boosted. He's going to lock up big time here. He cannot get the car stopped into turn 1. He does get it done though. He's kept it on the track, but Boosted already all over the back of him. He's going to overtake him with ease as Yari is all over the shop, unable to get that car under control. It's too early for the mediums. Yari has taken a big gamble and it is not paid off. But the big story at the moment is Danico's drive-through. That is huge.
I think Mepo caused the safety, the VSC, because he just replaced his whole wing. I think he is the one that caused it. Yeah.
Oh, that is nightmare for Meepo then. But Daisy and Makenda are laughing their head off. I mean, Danny can't blame Meepo for getting the drive-through, but he's going to serve it as soon as possible. As he comes into the pits now, he's going to serve that penalty immediately. And let's hope the game doesn't make any stupid decisions for him, like pitting and whatnot. But yeah, he serves that drive-through. He's going to come out, I think, ahead of Zygon, behind Crystals. Yeah, so big gap there to Zygon now as Fox picks up his first penalty. Track limits here are going to play a part. Some people are going to get some penalties here and there, but that is race over for the time being for Danico. He's just going to keep his head down and stay in it, really. But Makenda now in P4 means that it's a big ask now for Danico to win this championship. Big ask. We may be about to crown Makenda Championship Tier 1 champion. But in terms of this race, Daisy has managed to gain that 5-second gap to Timo. And Tino, esports driver struggling. I mean, that just kind of proves how quick these guys are in this tier, that we have an esports driver, even if he is a little out of practice, is not running away with his race. Yari gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and DNFs again. That is, so it seems to be a constant theme for Yari this season, DNFing in the pits when things aren't going his way. It's unfortunate. He leaves the session, had enough, made the mistake to go on the mediums too early, and that is it. So yeah, Slipstream Racing also saying that Meepo caused that VSC. Boosted Mess getting past Heat once again. They're having a bit of a ding-dong battle, those two. Looks like Heat has had an incident though, and is off the track. Fox overtakes him as well. So I don't know if there was contact between the two, or whether or not it was just a mistake from Heat that lets Boosted through. But Boosted doing very well so far. Don't want to curse the guy, so touching wood as we speak. But he's had a decent race so far. Danico though will be ruining that drive-through penalty. But all he can do now is keep his head down. Race without peer pressure, without pressure now, because he has very little chance of getting up there. Very little chance at the moment. I mean,
I think Danny needs a dry track to make these overtakes.
Oh, we've got a yellow flag here as well. It is a Aston Martin who was around. It was Yari's car coming out of the pits by the looks of things. So yeah, Codemaster is absolutely brilliant. Hello to Joel in chat as well. Seems unfortunate we're missing you in the commentary booth for this race, but glad to see that you could make it in the end. But yeah, it's not going well for Danny Co so far.
Meepo is making a run on Tonari right now. Turn 1.
These guys,
it's already clear, yeah.
Possibly in VC together, but yeah, Tonari keeping his nose alongside there, but Meepo gets the move done. Great stuff. We have no raindrops on my screen at the moment, so no rain is falling right now, so the track will be drying up. It's drying up very slowly though by the looks of things, but the time for mediums might be coming. Tonari's coming back at Meepo, looking around the outside of turn 2, but doesn't want to make that move.
Ooh, Danny spins. Danny spins out of his carry. It's such a frustrating moment for him, I think.
Yeah, oh, he does have a little bit of damage to his front wing as well. Looks like he's missing an end plate, so it's gone from bad to worse for Danico. That is sad to see. He is missing an end plate there as well, so he's looking to probably stay out and pit when he needs to for dries. You do not want to pit for another set of intermediates, and it does not look like dry conditions are here yet. But the problem that he's got now is that he can't get the jump on anybody else doing that, because they're all going to just pit ahead of him, really. So not a lot he can really do. Maybe stay out. Icewind all over the back of Copy now. He's managed to regain the time that he lost for that little moment where Pemi and Loft got past. He got past them both and is now back on the tail of Copy. Copy struggling here. These guys are fighting each other in the championship as well for the best of the rest. We've obviously got our championship contenders in Makenda, Danico and a Daisy. Justin also, who is not racing today, has missed a few races now, Justin. But uncatchable by Icewind, I think, as Loft gets a 3-second time penalty there. That might cost him. He's in a battle with Crystals at the moment, and Danico 16 seconds behind. I mean, there's a whole pit stop there for Makenda to get past Danico. Danico has not had the race that he wanted at all, but is Icewind going to be able to make the move on Copy? He's running low on ERS, and Danico has Copy has plenty in the bank, but the gap is closing, but it doesn't look like it's closing quick enough to get him into turn 1. No, big lock up there from the inside wheel from Icewind as well. Very easy to lock up in these raining conditions, and I wonder at what point are these tyres going to start to overheat as well. They might overheat before, and I wonder how many people have gone with a wet setup as well. I doubt many have.
Yeah, from the sector 1 time, it seems like everyone is doing dry setup. Yeah, they're very fast.
So Joel in chat as well, giving us some information about the championship as well. If Makenda retires and a Daisy wins, they will be equal on points. However, I think a Daisy has fastest lap at the moment. No, it's Tino who has the fastest lap at the moment. So that is unfortunate for a Daisy. But if Daisy has fastest lap, then he might get that win of the championship if Makenda retired. That's a big if, because I don't think McKenna's retired all season so far. But Makenda has more wins as well, so that becomes a factor also. Icewind trying to get a copy at the moment. This is the battle we've got, main battle we've got on track right now, but it's proving very difficult. He does not have the ERS to make it happen. But we're going to start seeing a flurry of pits soon, I think. The track is starting to dry out very slowly. We are going to get a very dry line at the moment where it's not so shiny. You can see that down the main straight there. Not so shiny, but we are seeing still some shine there. And because it's overcast, we've got no sun in the sky by the looks of things. It's taking a long time for this track to dry up. And if it did dry up now, I think people would go for the softs. The softs would get to the end here, but some people might opt for the mediums because it's just a better race tyre. The softs are pretty much quick, only for 3 or 4 laps, and then they're dead. The mediums are then faster. So at this stage, 16 laps out of 27. We have to say, though, championship is probably over for Danny Coe. It's not gone his way. He's had the drive through, and then he had the penalty. I think even with those things, even if he didn't do those things, he probably would have still lost the championship on points because McKenda is in P4 and Danny Coe would not have been winning the race. So,
yeah. Azek is bidding for intermediate, so he does not think the track would dry fast enough.
I think it might have a dry track for the last few laps, but yeah, certainly taking a long time to dry. So it's an interesting call there from the Haas driver. But yeah, a number of guys. Tonari and Meepo both have pitted as well. The only other 2 drivers to have pitted. Tino comes into the pits, and it'll be interesting to see what tyres he goes on to. What have they got ready and waiting for him? It looks like intermediate. So yeah, another driver who thinks that it's not going to dry up. I'm wondering how many of these guys are going to try and take the intermediates till the end, and whether or not that proves to be the winning strat. How about an SC, says Larson. An SC could cause absolute mayhem here. Yeah. Absolute mayhem for the standings and make it very, very difficult to judge who's going to win. But I think Danny Coe, I think even with a safety car, 37 seconds he's off the back of Timo. It's just going to be too little too late, a safety car at this stage. A sad, sad situation, but Icewind is very close to the back of Copy. Looking to get the move done, maybe in a Lesmo. Is he going to make the move in an unorthodox place with these rainy conditions and no DRS? It could prove difficult, but I have a feeling, I've got this gut feeling that before this race is over, we've got 10 laps to go, we are going to see DRS enabled, and at that point, you're going to see everybody dive into the pits for soft tyres, I think. A safety car in these conditions as well isn't out of the question either, because yeah, it's going to be tricky conditions as these tyres start to overheat as the track dries up, and it's very dependent on what kind of tyre pressures people have gone for the rainy conditions. People may have been able to change those, especially with that Park Ferme bug. A lot of people might have gone for higher wings or something like that kind of thing. It will be unfortunate, but I get the feeling that admin or FIA that we have, Copy McKenna goes into the pits as well, so he's also reacting to those pit stops and loses a number of positions because of it. He does not get the overcut on Tino though. Tino makes it through with ease. Big gap there for McKenna to get into though, as he comes out ahead of Danny Coe.
Danny's
pitting as well.
Yeah,
so
he's close to puncture territory now in his intermediates. Hopefully he changes his wing.
Yeah, so also changing his wing is going to be a big cost to him. But I think Danny Coe knows that it's pretty much race over, championship over, and McKenda will win it. But as it stands at the moment, yeah, Danny Coe's going to lose a couple of positions again, and Icewind looking to make the move. I mean, these guys tyres are going to be screaming as well. I'm wondering how many of these guys are going to try and go to get dry conditions. Like, people are maybe gambling as long as they can, stay out as long as they can on these intermediates, hoping it will dry up and get the softs on, and that means that they have an extra one less pit stop than these other guys. Could prove vital. But a Daisy at the moment leading the charge and stayed out as well. So wow, pits. Looks like a number of drivers are looking to go for those intermediates.
Yeah, no one seems to want to gamble
in the
the
pits as well.
price.
He's going to try and go for the undercut on. He's going for the undercut on Copy by the looks of things. He's gone for intermediate as well. So nobody is taking the gamble for dries at all. It just does not seem to be drying up quick enough in order to go for those. Daisy has done very well to take care of his tyres to keep him going this long. Tenori gets a 3-second time penalty. Daisy still has that 5-second penalty to serve in the pits as well, but at the moment, if he pits now, he would come out ahead of Tino, I think. The gap, I'm not sure what the pit stop time lost in the pits is, but obviously an extra 5 seconds on top of that, actually, maybe, but that extra 5 seconds on top might mean that Tino would take the lead of this. Crystals obviously needs to pit still as well, but had a good return so far after he gave his seat up. Had a long holiday.
The pit loss is about 28 seconds.
Daisy does come into the pits now then as well, so he's going to serve that penalty and could prove vital in terms of whether or not Tino wins it. But I think the championship is pretty much done because Makenda is still running in the points. Makenda needs to DNF at this stage in order to lose the championship, and I can't see him doing that. I can't see that happening at all because he's too good a driver to DNF at this stage. All he needs to do is make 1 point and he's won the championship. He won't not risk it for anything. As Tino gets the fastest lap, so the track is ramping up quite a bit by the looks of things, and Tino does get a Daisy in the pit stop. A Daisy gets rid of that 5-second penalty, but a Daisy will be unable to win the championship if Makenda finishes in the points, which it looks like he will do. Pemi also in the pits for intermediates as well. We've got Crystals and Copy still to pit. I'm wondering if they're going to try and get to the end, or they're still looking to wait for dry conditions. Fox gets past Boosted Mess down into Parabolica. I think Boosted Mess is not fighting anybody here at this in this race because he's just here for a good practice. See how I think what Boosted's trying to do here is just see how he would fare were he a Tier 1 driver next season, because he's had a torrid time in Tier 3, and you have to say P11 is not too bad.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but he still has to pit. As Fox is just going off track.
Yeah, he's made a big mistake there. It's a bad rejoin from Fox there as well as he comes on in front of people. He is ghosted, so that makes things a little easier as Danny Cole goes around the outside of Heat there. Doesn't want to waste too much time behind these back markers. To him, they are essentially back markers. To an alien at the top of Tier 1, it should be a short work of these guys. These guys will not fight it too hard either. Meepo might. Just to help out his Finnish compatriots, but I don't think they need much help, to be honest. Meepo on 9-lap old tyres to Danny Coe's 2-lap old tyres won't be able to put up much of a fight either, but we might see a move here, so we'll follow on board. As Daisy is all over the back of Crystals as well, but that's going to be an easy move to make with those 1-lap fresh tyres compared to Crystals' 19-lap old tyres. Danny Coe does not make the move into Ascari, probably a wise decision. Better to get him down this next straight. So it's interesting how the wet weather changes things, isn't it? Because you would never make the move into Parabolica in the dry because the other guy would get DRS down the main straight. But now it seems to be the best place to make the move. They still get a slipstream, but it's not that powerful around here. Oh, Danny Cole, a bit of a wobble there. Maybe went for the inside, but he's probably almost certain to get a good slipstream down here and get him into turn 1. He's looking to leave out of that slipstream early on, though. Already alongside, gets the inside, forces Meepo to go around the long way. Brakes late, does Meepo, but doesn't do it well, and he spins Danny Coe around. That is contact, and that is almost certainly a penalty from the FIA for Meepo. That's unfortunate. Oh, big wobble there as well. Danny Coe will be unhappy with that, but no damage done in the end by the looks of things. 10-second penalty there for Azygan for corner cut, and it looks like he's gone awry in turn 1. Had to cut the chicane as Crystals did get overtaken by a Daisy in the end as well. That looks like a cleaner overtake for this man in the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, that is a talking point. But I suppose it's neither here nor there because at this stage, Danny Cofield in P11 is not scoring any points. Wow gets a fastest lap as well to help his points haul at the end of it. But Danny Coe has no chance really of winning the championship at this stage with 6 laps to go. He needs to win this lap, win this race, and hope that Makenda finishes P6 anyways. Win this race from P11 here is a big ask. That almost seems impossible. Ferrari obviously have already won the Constructors' Championship. Crystal gets a 3-second time penalty there for cutting that corner in the second chicane. But yeah, looks like we're not going to have many fights left on track either. Disappointing.
Yeah,
End
it seems
to
things settled at the track. There's no one close to anyone. That's what yeah, a wet weather does to the track. There's no
yeah,
no DRS.
it's a real shame as well that it's not drying up at all as well, because we haven't had any rain falling for quite some time, but the track just refuses to dry. Copy and Crystals, I think, have been gambling this entire time on the track drying out by staying out this long, but I get the feeling that they are losing time hand over fist to everybody who did pit for intermediates, and but they may gain big if they can get these tyres to the very end. They may gain big, and Copy is beating his fastest lap, so it doesn't look as though those tyres are falling off, but I mean, they may be in very close to puncture territory. These guys might be gambling on that fact that we're going to go into puncture territory and finish the race on these tyres and hope that we gain big, because they will have gained big. Copy in P2 at the moment, Crystals in P4. They were nowhere near this high before the decision to stay out, and if they can get those tyres 27 laps, I would be amazed.
Yeah. Copy lost 2.5 seconds last lap, so to Adesi. So I think Adesi will overtake him pretty easily.
Yeah, Tino has got this race spot on as well. He's timed his pit stop perfectly. He's obviously not made any errors or mistakes. He helped Adesi out by backing Danny Coe up and causing maybe some issues for Danny Coe, or maybe making him overdrive the car a bit, but I'm wondering as well how much of that, because Danny Coe, it's very unusual for Danny Coe to get a drive-through penalty. I'm wondering how much of that is just a bug from thing is. Daisy does get the move on Copy out of Ascari. He has so much more grip on those fresher tyres, but look, the straight line speed is not there. There's no difference there in the straight line speed. It's all in the corners, but Daisy is going to get the move done easily around the outside into Parabolic, as he has so much more grip. He can brake later and gets that done. But Copy at the moment still in a podium position. 4 laps to go, I think. Three laps to go, I'd say. But yeah, bit of a damp wet squib, this one.
Yeah, definitely.
But, it's sad to see. But we did have dry race predicting. Told you that we'd go in this till the end, says Babulos. He predicted this. They're trying to do it, but I think these guys must have taken very, very good care of these tyres, because a number of the other guys, I think, pushing hard, weren't able to do this. But this could have been the strat all along. Take care of your tyres, don't push too hard, and get an extra pit stop. Danny Coe will get into the points, but his 19-second gap to Loff is going to be insurmountable, I think.
Yeah, and Crystals is losing 1 second to Wow. So I think the guys with the older tires will struggle very hard.
I still think it's the right decision, though, because even if they get overtaken by these guys, I don't think they're going to get overtaken by both Ferraris. So they'll still end up in the top 6, top 7 by staying out. And they were not really on course to get that top 6, top 7 if they pitted. So it looked like Copy was really, really struggling when it came to pace in comparison to Icewind, who did pit. So yeah, Babylon says the problem is the pit stop is 27 seconds. So if those guys pitted now, they would end up P9, roughly. P9, P10, something like that. So at this stage, they've kind of like shown their hand. They've got to get these tyres till the end. If they can do so, and we could have a couple of contenders for driver of the day for that absolutely brilliant big brain strategy move. He's left the session and DNF'd in the pits. He's had enough of running at the back in P16. But I'm sure this was just a good practice for him. A great opportunity. If he's broken his wing, though, he probably doesn't want to finish the race. Sad to say. I always like to see people finish the race regardless. You do see it in real F1 every now and again, though, where they're trying to save the car if they've got no opportunity for points. But it's very rare as well, even in real F1.
As Crystals goes off track and Wow just passes him
by.
by.
Crystals has a puncture. His back left tyre is popped. He has not got a chance to finish this race. He's going to have to make his way all the way to the pits and then pit. Oh, he's struggling to control his car. It is not working very well at all. As I've got a horrible camera. I want to see that back tyre. He is really struggling to hold on to the car, though. Unable to get the power down at all with that back left tyre punctured. And that is bad news for Copy, who's trying to do the same thing. But yeah, you can see that there. That tyre is flapping around in the wind. So we have some excitement at last, but not the kind that we wanted. But Crystal's, yeah, struggling to hold on to the car here. But he'll make it to the pits, and I wonder if he'll just retire at that stage, or whether or not he'll change the tyres and carry on. He might be able to get fastest lap. Oh no, he's into the wall. He cannot hold on to this car at all. It's proving very, very, very difficult to get onto. He's trying to get out of the way of guys behind and not cause problems. His Iceman gets fastest lap now as well. So fastest lap is, the track is drying out. That's the problem. It is drying out. I wonder if he goes for softs and tries to get the fastest lap on softs. I hope he does.
I hope he does, yeah.
I think it might about... looking at the track from this angle here, it just about looks dry. Like, look, the pit straight looks dry. The pit stop looks very dry here for me, so it could be that we get DRS. Probably not.
It is softs.
It is soft, yeah. He's going for the soft gamble. He's going to go try and take the fastest lap. He's going to lose out to Meepo and lose points as well because of that puncture. Chases his wing as well, so he's just going for fastest lap. See how these softs do though. See what he can do on them. Copy though will maybe know about that if he's got a crew chief, and or if he's in VC with other people. As Boosters Mess gets overtaken by a Zygon. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, Boosters Mess is in the pits, going for the softs as well. So yeah, just look to risk those softs. Tino gets the fastest lap with a 23 flat, which is a lot quicker than the 28s and 26s that we were seeing for fastest laps earlier. So the track is almost certainly dried up, but this is too late, far too late. It is lap 27 of 27. Tino coming around the first corner, starting his final lap. He's going to win this race by 6 seconds or more over a Daisy, but McKenda is going to win the championship. But if you are not fast enough, you should stay out, says Babulas, which is proven to be the case with Copy, but it did not prove to be the case with Crystals, who got that puncture. But Copy maybe looking better. DRS is enabled, yeah. So I mean, nobody's going to get it because nobody's within 1 second of each other. So, but Crystals may get the fastest lap. I mean, it's going to be tricky for him to get the fastest lap because he's only got the outlap to do it with. But Tino coming into Ascari is going to finish this race in P1, which is, I mean, I said Danico on the poll would win the race, but I had no option for Tino, which I think I had in the back of my mind that he was going to be winning. I mean, obviously, he is an esports driver. He's raced against the best of the best. McKenda all over the back of Copy. Now looking for P4, but I don't think he's going to get it. But Tino wins the Monza Grand Prix as a reserve. We're hopefully looking to see him in the next season as well. Daisy gets P2 and crashes into the wall as he does so as well. I think that's just in frustration. He's had such a great season as a Daisy. But we'll finish P2, I think, in the championship because Danico is losing so many points there. But McKenda, finishing P5, wins the Tier 1 championship. And yeah, I think he was going to win it anyway because he finishes P5 here. If Danico had finished in the top 4, he might have finished with the results here. I think he might have finished P3, is my guess. So McKenda probably would have won the championship anyway. But it's not the way you want to see it done at all, with big mistakes there from Danico with the drive-through and with a spin in Ascari as well, as Danico leaves the session as well. But that is our final grid. Cobby gets P4, and probably my driver of the day for being the only driver to make it all the way till the end. He gains a lot of positions there as well. Crystals does get the fastest lap, but it's only 23.3, so it wasn't exactly rapid compared to Tino's. But what do you say? You agree with my driver of the day for Copy?
Yeah, I think Copy. You saw how Crystals and Danny struggled with tire wear, so yeah, I think him taking the intermediates to the end is a very great feat and deserving of a driver of the day.
The game says Tino, but I disagree with that altogether. For sure, but it is what it is, I suppose, that one. But Copy goes from P6 to P4, by staying out, but he was a lot lower down the grid. He would have ended up a lot lower down the grid had he not gone for that. A shout out to Pemi, who's gone from P12 to P7, and for Wow, who's gone from P8 to P3 as well. It was also a fantastic drive from him as well. I wonder if I might change my mind for Wow. He's actually got it spot on and claimed a podium from P8, which is a fantastic drive from him. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to talk to him if he is up for an interview to see why he got that drive-through. I really hope it wasn't something stupid like Codemasters giving him a green Delta 1 second and then a red one the next. But if it did, it did, and there's nothing really we can do about that now from that standpoint. But congratulations to Tino for his first win in SLR, I think, and a Daisy for getting P2. Fantastic race in the end. Lots of things to be done, but Copy, I think it's got to go to Copy just for making that one stop work, because he was the only person to get it to work. So congratulations to him for drive of the day. But we'll move on to the interviews. We've got a new mention there. Let's see. Who have we got for interviews then? So we've got Icewind and Tino. We'll bring Tino in first of all. So our race winner, Tino, it went your way, but we want to talk about first of all that backing up of the grid in the early stages of that first stint there. It seemed that you didn't have the pace to keep up with a Daisy, but you certainly had the pace to keep Danny Coe behind you. For sure. Was that a calculated effort to help a Daisy out as a fellow Finn?
No.
No. So Daisy really had that pace over you then?
Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant. Is this going to be a Kimmy style interview where every answer is just yes, no, no, yes, blah?
No, but like I was kind of struggling in the first stint, to be fair. Like I didn't see this fighting me so hard, so I didn't want to like. I didn't want to have any incidents, so I just like, yeah, go ahead then. And he just pulled the gap.
Yeah, you seem to do very well in these conditions. Did you have a wet setup? Did you change things in the Parc Ferme? Because it seemed there was a bug where people could change things on a Parc Ferme.
No, I had 0-0 wings.
0-0 wings, yeah. It did look very, very tricky conditions at the very start of the race. Lots of people were struggling with traction at the rear. You must have struggled as well, you were saying there, yeah. Struggles.
Yeah, it was slippery, yeah.
As the track dried up, though, it never really dried up fully. But was it the case that you were kind of looking at the track conditions the entire race, hoping for it to dry and looking to see that it gets wet? Or are you one of those drivers like me who just waits for DRS to be enabled and leaves it at that?
No, it's you don't need to wait for the DRS or like the DRS enabled thing. You can just watch your like for example intermediates like tar temps. If they go up, then that means tries are better. But yeah, they. In like lap 12, 13, I made a decision that let's just pit for new inters. It's not gonna try up, and yeah, it was right the decision. But I don't know. I had a feeling it's not gonna try up because in this game it either tries up literally like right away or 2-3 laps. So we waited to 2-3 laps and it didn't try up. So I just waited I went for new inters and undercut at Adetsi. So yeah, won the race because of that.
And a final question for you is, what do you think the chances of getting Makenda into a interview are? Because he's won the championship, but he's never heard his voice. Like, literally never heard his voice. He's never had an interview ever. He's not interested in interviews. Do you think it's going to happen?
Hopefully.
Well, if you can tell him to get into we're going to let you go and enjoy the rest of the evening. But if you can tell him, if you're in VC, were you in VC with your fellow Finns, or were you out on your own?
No comment.
No comment. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Understood.
Okay, bye-bye.
Understood. Take care. Have a good one.
Yeah, thanks.
So we shall bring
very short and sweet.
Yeah, we'll bring in Icewind for the next interview. Finn, who actually has some words for us most of the time then. We've had Tino in here. He didn't have much to say. It was very much a Kimmy-style interview, I have to say. But he refused to admit whether or not you guys were all in VC together. The Finns, 5-6 Finns in this race. But you almost certainly would have been in VC with Makenda as a teammate. Do you think we're going to get an interview from him?
Yeah, we were in VC. I don't say, as far as I know, it's not a secret anyway. So yes, we were. So.
But yeah, I don't think we're going to ever get an interview from Makenda. But congratulations to him for winning the championship for sure.
I did manage to interview him in Finnish in LOR once after he won a race, but yeah, that's the only times. I don't know if we're ever gonna get him to do any English interviews, but maybe.
Is his English good? I suppose it is. Most Finnish.
I'm sure it's fine enough, but some Finnish guys are a little shy with their English, so I don't know. He's just not that sort of guy that wants to do an interview. So I'm just gonna say congratulations to Mackinder and congratulations to us as a team. So we achieved the goals that we set out for us. Sort of wasn't really at the beginning of the season, to be honest. Like because I was really off pace at the beginning of this game. I found a little bit of pace, but I think today was about pretty like realistically where I probably should have been anyway. So P6, happy with that, and we bagged both titles for the team. So yeah, very happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an up and down season for you so far. If we go back to your season kind of thing. But now that it's finished, how do you feel you've done overall over the whole course of the season?
Bro, it's kind of been how I've always done in Tier 1. I think I've always been somewhere in top 7, top 6, something like that. So yeah, it's. I think it's about my level. I think the only I could have theoretically, if I really did absolutely well in every race and didn't win as many races as I did, I might have been one position higher. But it's doesn't really matter at this point. At the end of the day, so. But I think I improved at least. I found some pace toward the end of the season. I did, especially on race pace. I think my quali pace has definitely been my Achilles heel for the last 2 games basically. And there's some work for me to do for the next season. So yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is. But you definitely made strides this season. How much of that do you think is down to effort that you've put in, and how much is down to patch changes and things like that? Because obviously the beginning of this, as the same with all Cody's games as well, at the very beginning of it, it was an absolute shambles. It was a mess. There was problems with low gears and things like that kind of thing. But what do you think is the improvement is down to?
I think it's definitely just finding the rhythm and how to drive in this game, and for that I also have to thank Mackinder because he's helped me out and given me tips. I know I can be pretty boneheaded when when it comes to taking advice, but especially around I think it was like Abu Dhabi and onward I did much better, and I took to heart what he told me about gearing, especially using higher gears, not gearing down quite as aggressively as I do natively, I would say, and stuff like that. So I think it's mostly just finding the right setup direction and what I like in the car, and then also adapting a little bit to the playstyle that you need to do in this game. So yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for Icewent. I want to know the reaction to the drive-through for Danny. Was it like a done deal, sealed the championship, or is it still?
I think it was pretty much a done deal at that point because he lost so much time and we didn't get a safety car. And I haven't heard from him. I've seen him go offline. I sort of wanted to message him because I have a suspicion what happened to him. The Delta was really strange for me at the restart, and I also almost got a drive-through because when I got the message that the safety car is ending, I drive across the start-finish line, and my Delta goes instantly like minus 1.5 seconds on the negative, and I brake basically on the straight to try and get it to positive, and I somehow didn't get a drive-through, and I suspect maybe something like that happened to Danny. I don't know, it's just a guess, but at least my Delta was going all wonky at that point. So
that was my guess as well, and I've got a feeling that Codemasters are probably never going to sort out the safety car issues that they've got with the game. They've been there so long. I mean, we still can't overtake the safety car. You'd thought that would have been a big thing for them to fix, considering the real F1 last season. What happened there? That it might become a bigger issue to let people overtake under the safety car. But I remember the first time I saw a safety car in a Codemasters game, I ghosted through everybody and then crashed into the safety car, thinking I could ghost through the safety car as well, not realizing that I was about to get disqualified for overtaking anybody everywhere, everybody anyway. Which is kind of like how baffling it is that they haven't sorted that kind of thing out. That you would just expect, oh well, this is what it's like in real racing. this is what it
Yeah.
would be like in the game,
Yeah.
but apparently Codemasters aren't like that. But anyway, but yeah, I wanted to say a thank you to you personally, Icewind, publicly as well, because you've helped me massively throughout the course of my time in
Well-
SLR, giving me setups, helping me with setups and coaching of particular tracks and things like that kind of thing. You know, a big reason why I had no DNFs this season as well, just helping me with
Yeah.
little tidbits of advice, like keep the car under control all of the time, don't brake last second, kind of thing. So hopefully you can start getting me faster as well.
Yeah, we can definitely work on that next season. Sure,
But
you can hit me up anytime.
fingers
So
crossed I might be able to race in Tier 1 next season as well, because I've been too
we'll
too
see.
slow for it the last couple of seasons, but fingers crossed. I am making progress just like you have with this game. I think it's definitely moving towards more our style of driving, which I think we both have a similar style of driving as well. So, but we'll let you go, and I'm going to pull in Chief last for the final interview, but thank you very much for your time. Nice.
Yep, thank you.
Take care. So, Ocean Chief, we're going to finish off our interviews with you. You did it to me yesterday. It's time to return the favour. Just want to say a thank you to keeping things everything on track, pun intended, throughout the season, and being the glue that holds this whole thing together, essentially. It's been an exciting season in Tier 1, I have to say. A bit of a disappointing end to it. I would have hoped for maybe a dry race there in Monza. But you've been following each and every race in every tier all throughout the season, kind of thing. Anything that you want to say to the wider world?
Just thanks everybody for watching and supporting SLR. But yeah, it's been great. All three seasons, all three tiers, sorry, ran very well this season, and seems like the drivers, a lot of good feedback from drivers. Unfortunately, there was two tiers that went. It looks like it's going to go to FIA. That's going to decide the title, which is that something happens as well in real F1, I guess. But it is what it is. I think overall everybody's happy enough. That race today though, yeah, that was great. I was watching it. It was so tense, and it's one of those ones. You've been in those races as well, Kebab, where the weather is so uncertain. It's like it's saying it's going to go dry, but it's not. The track isn't drying quickly enough. But yeah, big props to McKenna for winning today and coming out in tops. But it was a pretty epic battle between McKenna, Desi, and Danico. So I look forward. Hopefully, we'll see that again in coming seasons.
It's a fantastic season all around. Kind of thing. Can't judge the whole season off this one race, I suppose. But seems as though we'll never get McKenna into an interview at all. Just too shy for that kind of thing. So I want to congratulate him for winning that one. This has been the toughest season so far. From my perspective, the closest in history as well in SLR as well. It's been absolutely immense watching these guys battle it race after race. It's been so tough for all of them. And I think Danico as well, maybe has been caught out by those Delta problems with the safety car as well. So it's a big shame for him that it had to go down that way. But I get the feeling that McKenna had it covered regardless. He would have scored enough points today to have won the championship, but he would have certainly been scrambling for our calculators had Danico finished in the top 5.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just looking at the results as well. I mean, I have to give a shout out to Loff. It was his first season in Tier 1, and he consistently scored points, which in itself is a big feat. And he's put himself like P8. I don't know where the points today. No, he's going to be P8, I think, after this. Maybe lose the Pemi there. But yeah, I mean, first season, he was running assists last season. He comes in this season. And that's mega. As well, Icewind. He's had some really great performances this season. Copy as well. He was struggling the last season. He's kind of bounced back. Wow. There's Tier 1's all killers. So if you can score points in Tier 1, you're doing absolutely great. I scored a point last week in Tier 1. Just saying.
I scored a few points in my times in Tier 1 as well, mate. You're not special.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible.
If I can do it. But no, exactly. It is a very, very tough grid in Tier 1. But I'm looking at the results now, and you're seeing like it's split up into what looks like 3 different tiers within the tier. You've got the aliens of McKenna, Danico, Daisy, Justin. and maybe you can include WoW in that. If maybe he didn't have a couple of incidents in 1 or 2 races that cost him big, he might have been up in the 100 points range as well. And then you've got the rest, which is maybe a WoW Icewind copy kind of thing, the transition period, the transition drivers, I suppose, between the rest and aliens. You maybe have the pace one day but don't have it the next. And then you've got the likes of Loth, Pemi, Hudem, Meepo, Yari. Well, Yari obviously is an alien in his own right kind of thing, but he's had a torrid season with issues and problems with the game, which is unfortunate for him because maybe he could have made the top of that interesting as well. There would have been definitely another driver in there if Yari was able to finish his races and not have issues, but and then obviously you've got the guys at the back who are here to gain experience and things like that kind of thing. Big shout out to Boosted, who had an actual fantastic race today as well. Like he did very well today. And I almost know exactly what he's going to say to me once these interviews are over. In that, yeah, it's a lot easier when people aren't bumping you off the track left, right, and centre, and this and the other. Because obviously we've been, me and you and him have all been in the Thunderdome, that is Tier 3, this season. Lots of incidents in that tier. As people learn their racecraft, essentially. But have we got any information for the next season, essentially? Like, you know, how long are we roughly looking towards for the next season?
I would say about 3 to 4 weeks is probably, yeah, that's probably the best guesstimate I can give you right now. But we are looking at doing maybe a gammon run next weekend, and then the weekend after, there is talk of a Nations Cup, which I'm pretty pumped about because the last time we ran that, it was pretty epic. You know, seeing all the guys, you know, and the liveries matching their countries. Every country has a team, and it was just great seeing how that all plays out a bit, you know, something a bit different. And then the gammon run, as you know, is just chaos. It's like no rules. Everybody, you know, just can let off a bit of steam after a hard season. But I would like to just take a moment just to thank a few people. You know, there are a lot of people behind the scenes. I'm probably going to miss some people, so if I do, I'm really sorry. But you know, they've got with the admin team, Pretorius, Brother Joel, Icewind, Fedivara, Danny Co. All plugging away behind the scenes where the guys that basically make all the decisions and just moderate, and we're all involved, you know, behind the scenes in different aspects of it, such as like FIA. So FIA, you've got a big team there. It's Tenari, Futuristic, Gorilla, SLR, Yuta, Larson, Max Spiltz is in there, Samin, Sonny, and I do want to say as well, you know, we've had some really good graphics this season, and big shout out to Wham. The man's a wizard. He comes up with the graphics every week without fail, and they look great, and they just add to the stream. They just, you know, bring it up a level. Samim as well. We've got a few new guys, like, they've come in. They've been very enthusiastic about SLR. They really love it, and they want to kind of help out. So Samin, he's helped with their recruitment stuff. Our gamer, he's been kind of, yeah, he's been helping out behind the scenes as well. Kebab yourself, like the commentary team. Obviously, everybody who watches SLR streams will be aware of all the commentators. And it's like these guys are giving up their free time, obviously, because they like SLR and they like, you know, the community. So it really is community effort, and I always go on about it, but that's what it is. It's not me, you know, doing everything. Obviously, I can't do everything myself. I'm just the guy at the top, just making sure everything's kind of running smoothly, and that's really what I want. The SLR is basically, the idea behind SLR is to be a league that I want to race in. So hopefully that's a race that everybody else wants to race in as well, and it seems to be working. You know, we don't want drama in the Discord. We don't want, you know, toxicity. We want a welcoming environment, and I think that's kind of our bread and butter. That's what really drives SLR, and it's the reason why it's still around after first being created in 2018. So that's my piece. And hopefully, as I say, I haven't missed too many people out, because I'm sure I have missed a few people. But yeah, it's been great. It's been a great season.
I don't think you've missed anybody. Maybe Pretorius. I don't know if you mentioned him or not, but like he's been a big effort behind the scenes, even though he hasn't been racing, which is a big, fantastic effort from him as well. He's been leading the FIA charge as well. Everybody in the FIA does a fantastic job, sometimes to very little or no acclaim. So I want to thank all of those guys for being very fairly consistent throughout, really. doing a fantastic unthanked job in the background, really. The FIA here is probably one of the best I've seen in compared to other leagues. Other leagues have had some really questionable decisions I've seen from other friends who've raced in other leagues. But you're right, it does take a village. There's lots of people involved, and even the people who aren't in the admin teams. I'm not in the admin team. I've only taken on a couple of things this season because it just looked as though they needed done, essentially. But anybody who wants to kind of help out, who's listening in future, please get in touch. I mean, there's always stuff to be done. But yeah, we're going to let you go, though, Chief, because Loff and Fedavara both want an interview, they're saying. And I'm going to give them a literal 5-second interview because I'm really hungry. But thank you very much for your time coming in. And yeah, thank you for everything that you do for us as well.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you later. Bye.
So we're going to bring both of Loff and Fedavara into the chat now because they both said they wanted an interview. We're going to make this very short and sweet because, guys, I'm very hungry. This is, this is my special time that you're interrupting, I have to say. But yeah, you guys wanted an interview, so yeah, here is your chance. This is your interview. How did that, like, obviously, Loff, I want to give you a big shout out to you because I watched you race last season in Tier 2, and it was painful sometimes to watch you race in Tier 2 last season because it was always, the pace was always there in Tier 2, but it was always like a strategy call or a bad decision here or there that caused big issues for you last season. But this season, when I saw you could make the jump up to Tier 1, I was expecting less, if I'm honest. I don't know any nicer way to put that, but I wasn't expecting that good a showing from you in Tier 1. And you've come and done fantastically well, so it's a big shout out for you for that as well. And Fedavara, similar to you, kind of thing, you've had a mixed bag this season in terms of racing, but you've obviously been heavily involved in the background and things as well, and come on leaps and bounds in the commentary booth as well, so it's a big shout out to you as well for the progress you've made this season as well.
Yeah, who's gonna start me a lot?
Thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a pleasure, to help SLR. But yeah, speaking about my season, I don't think it's been really a great season, but I'm happy about this race. I tried to gamble the strategy. It didn't work, but I had fun. But yeah, hopefully next season, maybe me and Love are gonna be teammates in Tier 1. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, to see what we can do.
Yeah, fingers crossed for you. I mean, that puncture for you at the end kind of thing, it was a tough one. I mean, you made the decision early to go to the very end on the intermediates, or were you just waiting for dry conditions and hoping that it would get dry?
No, I just tried to go till the end on intermediums. Like Chief was telling me that I should bid, but I wanted to gamble.
You don't want to listen
The
to that
strategy,
guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So don't listen to him.
Yeah, but also, I didn't have anything to lose literally. Like I was driving as a serve. So yeah, I just tried to risk it. It didn't work, but it's fine. I just look for next season and hopefully it's gonna be better to my side, maybe more consistent and trying to finish each race on point, maybe getting some podiums.
Fingers crossed. You've definitely got the pace there, but you definitely need to work on consistency kind of thing. So I think the only way to really get that consistency is by more race practice and dealing with the pressure of races as well. So I would maybe recommend doing 2S and racing in 2S as a practice race every Tuesday so you get like an early practice every race. So fingers crossed you can get in there and do that. I know you've been there a couple of times and raced there a couple of times, so maybe that'll help you out a bit. But we're going to let you love you and leave you because I'm starting to get dizzy with hunger and been talking for 2 hours now. So I kind of really need a break. But thank you very much for all you've done, both of you, this season. It's been great having you join the commentary team, Loff, and it's been brilliant watching you make the progress that you have in commentary, Fedavara. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you next season as well.
Yeah,
Thanks
sure.
so much.
And
Thanks
yeah,
for the
thanks.
kind words.
Yeah.
Guys,
yeah, thanks for your work. Yeah. Thank you, and I'll leave you eating as I need to eat as well.
Take care. Have a good one.
Yeah. Thank you. See you.
So thank you once more to you, AR Gamer, for joining me in the commentary booth today. It's been a fantastic race. It's been a fantastic end of the season. It maybe could have been better, but you don't get what you wish for in racing sometimes. Sometimes you just have to make do with what you've got. But congratulations once more to Makenda as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of you in the commentary booth as well.
Me too, but hopefully is time available for maybe tier 1 next season or tier 3.
Yeah, I mean, what is your plans for racing next season? Are you going to drop assists or?
I hope, yeah, maybe ABS or racing line, but I'm staying in tier 2. Maybe this season I had bad luck on track, but off track, the SLR community has been amazing, and I had a lot of fun this season, and I hope to have a lot of fun next season
Yeah.
with the community, and maybe better luck on the on track action.
Yeah, P4's yours. I can see your name in it already. But we're going to love everybody and leave everybody now, and call that the end essentially. But thank you for commentating with me this evening in short notice, and we're looking forward to next season in 3 or 4 weeks. Take care, everybody.
Yeah.